time at Biola, I couldn't exactly think of a specific story right away. It was then, though, that I started to think about all the friends and faculty whom I've met just along the way, along the path of just me being at Biola. And just a little thing before I just talk about who has really impacted me at Biola. I just wanted to say that it's really hard to be disabled in a non-disabled world. And so with that, when I thought about that, I thought of my RA staff. I'm a resident advisor in one of the dorms, and so I get a chance to walk life with a bunch of guys, hang out with them, create events, just I'm a listening ear, things like that. And I'm an RA in Sigma. I don't know if any of you guys have ever been in Sigma, but I think it's a biased opinion, but I think it's the best. But when I initially got the position, I had no idea what I was getting myself into. These people on my staff, there's about 7 others. These people were the ones who I would walk life with through the good and through the bad times. It all started in the beginning when I knew that these guys were actually legitimate. When I first started my journey as an RA, these guys told me that they would treat me with such normalcy while acknowledging my disability. And so I would still walk around the dorm working on various tasks, depending on the event, and I would be there to listen to my staff in times of need. I would be able to do things for them that I can physically do instead of like lifting and carrying things. I was stretched though by learning how to accomplish tasks, such as, like I said, working on physically challenging things, as well as learning what it looks like to be a friend depending on the different contexts. I remember there was a time at the beginning of the year, my staff and I, we did a 3-legged race, and the distance was maybe about 300 feet long, maybe a little bit shorter, a little bit longer, I'm not too sure. But I just knew that it would be really hard for me to do it. Being physically disabled, I wasn't sure exactly how I'd be able to do that. And so, but my team believed in me, and I was able, because I was treated normally, I was able to achieve this task by doing this 3-legged race with them. There were times though that I didn't think I could do things. Sorry, I'm losing my place. Yes, I know where I'm at now. This small story though is just a reflection of my team. There were times when I didn't think I could do things, but they were there to encourage and to lift me up. In John 9, there's a man who was born blind, and Jesus' disciples asked him if he was born like that because of the sin of himself or the sin of his parents. And in verse 3, Jesus says, it was neither this man nor his parents who sinned, but it was so that the works of God might be displayed through him. And I've always had trouble feeling comfortable with the body that God has given me, but this team has definitely been a huge encouragement in demonstrating, even more so, that I was born like this for a reason. Through the times of being physically, mentally, and spiritually challenged, my RA staff has harbored an environment that welcomes my disability and responds as though I'm one of them. All of the experiences with them have definitely confirmed God's plan in my life of displaying the works of Him in my life. It seems as though it's obvious that treating me as normal makes sense. A lot of people, they question, like, of course we're going to treat you as normal. But it doesn't happen often, and I sure don't feel that it happens often as well. As I leave Biola, I'm forever thankful for the courses offered, the professors' meetings, and hanging out with friends. I always tell myself that I don't regret a single thing, but instead I always have learning experiences. I don't regret being born with a disability, and I don't regret the downs in my time. And trust me, there have been some downs. Instead, I take every opportunity to learn more about the world and to learn more about myself. Thank you, Biola, for the many opportunities that you have given me. I'm leaving a different man than when I came in. And trust me, even my mom can agree with that. But for real though, I will cherish all the moments and the people here. Thank you so much, and congratulations, class of 2018.